I mean, he barely did 5,000 damage, and it just felt like he just wasn't in. He was a passenger.
Yeah, unfortunately he wasn't played for, so when the rest of the map kind of got ahead, he kind of fell behind. But again, Heng with the Xin Zhao, a pretty nice aggressive early pick. For the WE jungler right here, you can choose to play throughout whichever lane, and FoFo with yet another control mage for the mid lane, you can get to push the wave really quickly. We have seen Vikla play a pretty aggressive way, if you will, shoving in the wave, dipping into Fog of War, and then helping your Xin Zhao with any skirmishes. Now, right here with the Ahri being picked, I just want a little bit more aggression in terms of the jungle. Give me a Vi, a Viego, something that pairs up really well, or even again a Lee Sin, something that pairs up really well with the Ahri, so you can play these 2 versus 2 skirmishes and shut Heng down so he can't play for topside.
Well, that's going to be the Viego locked in here for XiaoHao, something he has shown extreme prominence on throughout his very short career so far. We'll see if it ends up being a nice jungle mid combination for them now, but you can see WE kind of taking their options into stock right now and saying, cool, well, like, plenty of AD carries are still available, if we're being totally honest, so we're happy to pick up a top laner, we're happy to ban away the ones that would do notoriously well into the Aatrox. Wouldn't even be surprised to see them ban away the Gnar here as well, so just kind of putting a lot of pressure here on the top lane of WE, or sorry, on top lane of Weibo, and making sure that, like, I mean, again, just showing that because of Prince's champion pool, they're happy to let these AD carry bans fly.
I feel like with Twisted Fate banned right here, you're allowed to pick Aatrox. I don't necessarily think that this champion has many counters. One of them is Yone, and we have seen Yone picked into it, but ZDZ this season has 0 Yone games. However, until his last series versus NIP, he also had 0 TF games, and he did pick the champion up. So potentially we could see something like that pop up towards the top side of the map to try and counter Wayward, because again, I feel like it's of pivotal importance to try and get Wayward behind when it comes to laning phase, because this guy has been taking over games. You've got a pretty strong mid-jungle dude to do that. Now solidify that with a very strong counter pick on the top side of the map.
And they've got away with the Renata as well, so the support's taking a hit. But again, I do feel like you can kind of pick your... Maybe they look for counter support. I know Lwandy was always a fan of that back when he was on LNG, having that extra little support there. I mean, you can pick an AD carry here. You know you're going into the Varus, so it's not really that big of a deal. Maybe see the Ezreal coming out here for Prince, go for a bit more of a poke style alongside that Hui, but... Good smiles and laughing coming out here from the side of Team WE. They know that they're in a good spot, but they're laughing. We're going to go back to Jin. Again. We're going back to Jin, guys, and even Prince knows. He's
Look
like,
at
no,
him.
man, don't leave me alone.
No. He's like, oh god, okay, back I go into building static shift and pushing waves under my tower. All right, guys, I get it. I signed up for this. Wayward is top lane, fair enough. Now, of course, let's see what this is paired up with. Usually a Varus you see paired up very easily with Maokai. This could be very scary. A Thresh for Crisp. I have not seen a Thresh in a hot minute right here. And a Camille locked in for ZDZ on the top side into the Aatrox. Oh, this is going to get spicy real quickly.
I know it's not meta, and I know a lot of people don't really think it should be him, but I do really feel, I was just about to say, the Janna right now for Lwandy would actually be amazing. One of his original OTPs, kind of something he could bring in, just kind of keep the disengage out there, stop the Viego and the Camille from coming in and getting stuff going, but they are going to go for the Blitzcrank this time around and just get themselves a little bit more kill pressure. Hook v hook in that bot side.
I love this. You can hook anyone on the side of Weibo Gaming. There is not a singular tank. There is not a singular person that you can hook into the team that will not get one-shot by Aatrox, Hui, Jin, and Xin Zhao jumping on top of them. I feel like Weibo Gaming are going to have to be very careful on their toes, because the second they step up on a neutral objective and Lwandy is there, whoever gets hooked dies.
That's kind of it. Hook in champion, kill champion. That's pretty easy way to play the game, but I mean, you've got so many good options here for the side of Weibo and for WE to kind of get in, focus in somebody down and try and burn them out. Weibo need to try and find a bit of momentum now in this game number 2. They just didn't really spark anything in game number 1. They were slow, they were steady, but as soon as the fire was lit for WE, they had no way to put it out. Now they need to try and bounce back, and notoriously, Weibo not exceptional in their game 2s so far this split. Definitely our team that thrive off of that game 1 momentum and try and build it forward, but This is a big moment here for Team WE. We talked about it earlier today. They are 6-4. They would move to 7-4. They would be right up there with FBX, with IG, you know, even AL, kind of around that top 6 mark. You know, NIP, whereas Weibo would be dragged into the depths. They would be fighting alongside LNG to try and make sure they get themselves into the postseason, let alone high up in the playoffs to be themselves, OMG, LNG kind of, and even TT kind of in that battle for the final few spots. So this is a big, big moment. We'll see if WE can finish off their 2-0 or if Weibo will have something else to say in this game. She's a big crowd in Xi'an. Big crowd.
Wow. Right. Moving into the second game of the series, Weibo Gaming backs against the wall. However, they do have all the playmaking tools on their side. Ari Viego, huge playmaking duo, very powerful 2 versus 2 skirmish potential between the two. You've got a Thresh on Crisp towards the bot side of the map. Move that Thresh around, move that pawn around, move that piece around the map. And it could be success. You hit a hook. Somebody could end up dying right here. And for ZDZ, he's running the teleport ignite. He's looking to play more aggressive on the top. So now he's heard Wayward is getting solo kills. Right, left, and center. And right now, right here, he's looking to shut it down. Playing that Camille into the Aatrox, of course. We're going to have to wait and see where Heng is going to choose to path. Because so far, his road has always led towards the top side of the map, trying to punish ZDZ and set Wayward ahead.
That's how they've been doing it. That's how they've been trying to make things work for them, but try and do are 2 very different things. There's the Flay coming out. Hook back, though.
Yoink.
Crisp will take a fierce chunk of his own health bar as they realize the Aftershock is no longer in play. This is all it's all about. So kind of a who blinks first almost a lot of the times in these bot lane skirmishes. As there's the hook shot, wall shot, not going to land it. As ZDZ did not have flash to try and re-engage onto that, but good from Wayward to recognize, yep, I do not get level 2. I need to be respectful of this Camille's all in.
And you see both junglers are probably going to go for the full clear. XiaoHao is looking to invade towards the bot side of the map. You do not have a lot of priority through your mid or your bot lane, and you are sitting on a ward. XiaoHao right there. FoFo might be in trouble, but XiaoHao doesn't know that Heng is right behind him. Gonna walk straight back into his jungle towards the top side of the map, and right now Wayward should feel safe. He knows that from that side, he's pretty much undiveable onto the Viego. Wait, XiaoHao is doing a 180.
But he's being called by Heng right now. I don't know if either jungler really knows. XiaoHao kind of maybe recognizing that they don't know exactly where Heng has kind of gone right now. He's not in the brush. And he will just walk away from this one here. Should be a pretty easy skirmishes for both these guys as they both really want to try and fight this. Neither mid laner's moved over just yet. A flash away by Heng, but it has been followed straight away. The stun comes down. I think Heng has recognized he is dead. Nothing to be done there. The Viego picks up first blood, and that's a good start for Weibo coming into this second game.
I'm not sure what was happening right there. I was expecting both junglers to sort of full clear and then potentially look for opportunities, but then Heng goes towards mid lane to stop the mid lane gank from XiaoHao, and then XiaoHao goes topside, then turns around 180, goes towards the bot of the map, then Heng was waiting in the bush, but then he walked out and he went back in. I'm not sure what in the world was happening. I feel like Heng was looking for potential gank towards the bot side to wrap around, because Varus and Thresh were pushed super hard into that bot side of the map. But he ended up with him paying with his life. 1-0 now for the Viego, and this could be the start of the playmaking that we talked about. The Ari together with the Viego. This, oh my god, this was spotted him going back into the jungle. Thank you, observers. That's why XiaoHao turned around instantly. Very calculated moves right there, and it gives me a little bit of peace of mind to the whole madness I just witnessed. I'm like, okay, it wasn't madness, it was all calculated. He was spotted.
Oh, but no, who wasn't spotted? Lwandy Finds himself now into this mid lane. Flash gets blown there. Don't know if that hook was going to land, but Xiaohu could not leave it up for chance. So small little roam does lead to a summoner burn. Now they look for maybe a dive on the top side. I don't like dives onto the Aatrox. They tend to go wrong very quickly. And I do think that WE recognized they're in a good position to maybe turn that one around, so Weibo back themselves away.
They did have teleport onto FoFo as well, so potentially you could have pulled that to try and defend the top side of the map. Now FoFo is going to TP towards the mid lane. Now, it's not the end of the world for Xiaohu to lose his flash right here because he's very close to hitting that level 6, so he is going to feel safe having that ultimate Crisp staying around for the lantern. He knew that Lwandy is going to be sticking around for this particular one, especially since the area hasn't hit 6 yet, not having the flash, very susceptible to getting hooked. But again, for Xiaohu, hitting that level 6, he's going to feel a little bit safer, walking up, clearing the wave, taking trades into FoFo.
And that one ward, the ward didn't spot him the first time, spots him the second time. It's Crisp now. Might be in a bad spot, does get hooked in here, and Hui jumping in with a little bit of damage. Will have the Spiraling Despair, and that's going to force the level 4 Thresh to back themselves away. So again, good moves from WE, and they're using this Blitzcrank very, very effectively. Wayward's getting jumped on right here, but has his jungler in tow, just in case anything would go crazy. But it might be a 2v2.
Oh god, and Lwandy's mid again. Lwandy's mid again. They're pushing the Ahri out while XiaoHao's on the top side. They don't know that Heng is in this bush. If he moves forward, they will spot him out.
Oh, they're going to look for it now. They're going to try and maybe make this fight work for them. ZDZ is getting jumped on here. Xiaohu has come up with the Spirit Rush. And XiaoHao will get the resets as well. So not really a lot that WE could do about that one. They are coming up with Lwandy, who does have a flash if he wants it, but it's just so difficult to make anything stick. And honestly, that felt like WE had all the information. They just really miscalculated how much they could do.
Yeah, I feel like there was the first
he was
push from...
spotted. They knew he was there.
Okay,
Insane.
the warding
Insane.
and the vision, this game from Weibo Gaming to figure out where Heng is at all times has saved them in 2 instances and has netted them 2 huge kills. One on the Ahri, one on the Viego. We said that this mid-jungle duo was going to be pivotal for this particular game. You'd have to snowball. You have so much playmaking power within these 2 champions and within that 2v2, and they had used it to their absolute advantage. Extra props for the fantastic vision control to figure out where Heng is at all times this particular game and using this to their advantage. And also thank you to the observers for highlighting it to us. However, I also want to spotlight a little bit here. Lwandy, he's done a fantastic job within a minute and a half. He did take double flash from Ahri and Thresh, and Crisp right here gets slowed. They're not going to choose to engage onto that because they do know XiaoHao is around, and he is ahead in terms of items. He does deal quite a bit of damage. They might grab Crisp.
They do grab Crisp, and he doesn't have a flash this time around. His Aftershock will keep him alive only for so long, and Heng will get himself a kill now, so he'll equal up that against his opposite number. FoFo, though, might be running on the Xiaohu. Xiaohu does have Spirit Rush, and will have to use it to try and back himself away.
1.
And that shouldn't be too hard for him to try and run away from this one, but now you're dealing with lack of ultimates to try and contest this dragon. Heng will just have to clear his top side vote for the moment just to make sure he's not falling too far behind. But I mean, this is good moves from WE to get themselves back in contention of this game.
Absolutely. Crisp walks too close to the sun, ends up getting burnt, doesn't have vision into this brush. They knew WE were around, and he ends up face checking a little bit too close, gets gripped in. A kill going down. Luckily for WE, they managed to grab it onto the Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao has been falling a little bit behind. So they're going to trade that kill for the dragon. Heng is going to go straight back into his topside jungle. Potentially maybe even look to set up something towards the top side of the map. You see Blitzcrank heading towards the top side of the map as well. Could potentially see a little bit of danger heading towards ZDZ's way. Again, this Camille does not run the flash. We see FoFo moving towards the top side as well. ZDZ is a little bit overextended. But for Camille is a slippery champion. We have Lwandy on the top side again.
And Lwandy gets spotted out by a ward, knows he's been spotted out by a ward, and I'll just clear that one, not too bad. 10 seconds to the next 3 grubs spawn. Lwandy, though, doesn't know where anybody is, and they are just sitting, waiting for him to get caught out. The single target CC would be insane. The hook does not land. ZDZ uses the hook shot, wall shot regardless, and now Weibo make their presence known and say, all right, we're 5 man strong up at this top side. You have to respect.
Yeah, and Lwandy and Crisp really need their level 6 here, especially when the skirmishes start happening. Silence is huge for the Blitzcrank. The cage is huge for Thresh as well, especially since you have 2 melee champions like Aatrox and Zinzao running towards your team. You want that level 6 onto the Thresh to try and get any fight or any skirmish going. It's not going to be the case for now. Camille does have TP, however, in a couple of seconds, and Weibo Gaming are sticking around. Blue buff is going to get handed over to Xiaohu, since his mana bar didn't look too good. And Chris,
they get everything, and Light is dead. He just gets caught out by the hook, a flash away from Lwandy. Really well done there, and just honestly, really poor respect here from Light. He had flash, he didn't use it, and I gotta admit, that was great timing from WE. If they had the timing on the Camille teleport, they knew they had time to go for that objective without having to fight for anything, really. And now the game feels like it's shifted back. Weibo were making good plays in the early game, but WE right back into this.
oh, Xiaohu
Should be fine.
just about walks out of the curtain call right there. And again, honestly, hats off to Lwandy. He's been all over the map. I don't think at this point he even knows what AD carry he has on the bot side of the map. And that's for a good reason. They left Prince all alone in the previous game and he fended off for himself beautifully. He wasn't ganked at all. And you see Lwandy mid lane, top lane, mid lane, top lane, mid lane, top lane, enemy jungle. The Chain of Corruption is going to land from the Varus, but it doesn't matter because the hook has already landed from Lwandy. And Light ends up falling. Crisp nowhere near to try and save him with a potential lantern right there. And again, honestly, this Blitzcrank is doing wonders. We said how Weibo Gaming extremely squishy. Whoever that this hook lands on from Lwandy are most likely going to pay with their lives, and it has been the case so far.
Yes, it has. So far, so good for WE. They seem to be turning the momentum a little bit more.
He's going mid again.
Yeah, I mean, why not? You've got the Moby boots. You're extremely quick to get back to where you need to go. And this is why I think it's like, it was funny, obviously, in terms of how they were going about it. But this is why WE were kind of laughing at the fact that it's like, look, it's a Jhin angle. It's just a Jhin angle. We know we're going to be safe. We know we're not going to need, you know, kind of you to be, or how much pressure Weibo are going to put in onto you. You're not going to be in any danger. They don't dive bots. So why would we waste a pick, you know, kind of looking for lane dominance when we can just leave you alone and put Lwandy up towards, you know, the mid and the top?
Absolutely. However, Weibo Gaming are pulling in all the forces right here. They have rotated Light towards the top side of the map. Refilled in a minute and a half, but they are looking, they are praying. They are 5 members. They caught 3.
They do. They caught Lwandy as well. No flash on him. A flash by Heng. As they did not realize they were 5 men waiting. Flash over the wall does not land the Q from the stolen Blitzcrank effigy. But it is enough to get Wayward and Heng off of the Krugs. It's a lot of summoners used, or excuse me, cooldowns used to try and make this one here. FoFo, though, he's going to walk straight into a hook. He's get charmed, and he will get killed. Did not have any vision whatsoever. I do not know why FoFo is walking in that jungle.
Yeah, that was not a great move by FoFo right there, because you do have the information. There's 3 enemy members into this one. You know Camille is also TPing down there, so I think Prince actually needs to run and not stick around for this wave.
Prince? Why would you stay? That's just 2 very poor mistakes coming out from WE. No need for Prince. As soon as you TP, you see the TP, you walk away.
Yeah, you knew that this was going to be the Camille TP as well, so you can't just wait and greed for the wave. I think he greeted for one of the cannon minions as well. Tried to greed for that extra 1 CS right there and the extra gold that you do get, potentially maybe giving him an extra item. It's not going to be the case this time around, as he is going to be donating 300 gold over to a Camille that has been kind of starving right now. Completed that Trinity Force, is going to be able to be a force in these fights, and ZDZ he's just going to take the ladder. I wonder, can you land it?
Oh! ZDZ perfectly times the hook shot. And gets himself nice out into safety. So nothing really lost, though, on the side of WE. They didn't flash for it or look to engage like that, so they don't lose anything in that regard. But definitely a moment there for them to figure out exactly what to go for. Now Dragon is the focus here. WE would love to try and stop the stacking here and get themselves back into this. It could be a full fight. Oh, never mind. It's just a pick. XiaoHao, he's already dead, and he will not be getting any more resets. It was reset city for a while there with the Ahri and the Viego. The hook lands in. XiaoHao goes down. Dragon goes to WE, and they stabilize once more.
I get a little bit miscoordinated, but Weibo and WE are so good at capitalizing on mistakes. There is no flash on Xiaohu right there. Nice sidestep. Not having to flash away from that hook, but then again, very weird positioning. Your Varus is in the mid lane, pushing in the wave. Your Thresh is wrapping around, then you have Ahri getting caught again here.
And Spiraling Despair will go up, because Xiaohu down to about 1/3 of his HP, and they'll get a tower as well. And it's the thing, Weibo, they come up with such great plays. WE, in fairness, gifted them a couple, but WE definitely make up for it in the long term. They get themselves a dragon, a tower, they get themselves a kill, they've equaled out the gold. This is WE just kind of showing to Weibo, it's like, look, we may be right beside each other in the standings, but we are the better team, and that's just how it is.
I feel like they don't necessarily... It seems like there are too many calls going on from the side of Weibo Gaming. You know that your Camille didn't have ultimate, you didn't have TP, you didn't have Ignite, you had just been pushed back by a skirmish down the bot side of the map, so... You just give this one up. You already had the first dragon. It's fine if the stacking stops. You still have the skirmishing power. You still have Xiaohu on the Ahri, Malignant, Sundered Sky onto your Viego. Do not give the shutdown away over to W after you've worked so hard for that early game. But again, Weibo Gaming are very susceptible to making these macro mistakes and these call mistakes in the mid game. It's what has plagued them so far in 2024. ZDZ has found Wayward. But he's bringing friends.
He is bringing friends, and remember, there's no flash here on ZDZ. He will have his hookshot, wall shot back in just a second. Exactly it. Lwandy is like, I don't care. We're getting this kill. We've committed too much. And they will be able to kill him off just about at the end. Wayward goes up to 2 kills now in the game. But that does mean that the priority up that top side just goes straight over to the side of Weibo. They get themselves a Rift Herald. They should be able to get themselves maybe even 2 towers from this. So you still need to get some kind of objective on the side of WE to make this worth.
Yeah, I feel like you should get your Aatrox over the top side as fast as possible. Maybe rotate your Jhin as well. Since you have pushed that mid lane wave, you cannot allow that Rift Herald to take 2 towers towards the top side of the map. I feel like Weibo Gaming know that the resets have come through for the side of WE, so they're just going to take that 1 tower and potentially use the next Rift Herald to create some pressure in the mid lane for the next objective, which is going to be 2.5 minutes, the next dragon, or create a skirmish in the river. I don't think it's worth it right here to risk it for the biscuit. Leaves your Varus alone, and again, W so good
fast. He's so fast.
Punishing reset timers. They see 3 people towards the top side of the map. They instantly sprinted towards mid. They take the window of opportunity that was given to them to take that mid lane tier 1. And again, Wayward takes the fight into ZDZ. They know that there's nothing on the map that is threatened by them, so they pull the TP from FoFo all the way from top lane. Lwandy is around onto that Blitzcrank as well. He's gonna pretty sure flash the wall. Yeah, if it just flashes the wall, has the extra movement speed from the rune as well. After one Summoner spell is used, I forgot completely the name, and they just capitalize on ZDZ.
Now WE just backing away here from the bot side, but there's a Rift Herald that can be used and will be crashing into this turret. This will be taken down. A TP coming in as well. That's going to be Xiaohu jumping back in onto this fight as well. Wayward trying to run away from this entire situation. They haven't killed off anybody just yet, but it does look like Wayward will be the sacrifice on the side of WE. They will get the tower for Weibo and the kill. While that's happening though, you've committed a lot of resources up towards this bot side. So bot lane, or top lane I should say.
Keep pushing.
Yeah, they can keep pushing though, because they got no one else coming in.
Yeah, that was a great call from the side of Weibo Game. They're gonna kill Heng here as well. That was a great call. They see FoFo all the way to the top side. He's not backing, he doesn't have TP, and they still have Rift Herald. Oh, who's tanking the 4th shot?
No, they don't tank it, but they will lose Crisp. Lwandy getting in some supportal combat. ZDZ trying to see if he could maybe kill off FoFo. We'll have the hook shot now in a second, but a great fear from FoFo. He puts down some damage himself. Spiraling Despair goes in and gets him down below half HP, but Weibo now trying to answer back, or rather WE trying to answer back. They'll get a tower after the kill itself, so it ends up being a 1-for-1 in both tower and in kills. And this game is starting to get very scrappy all of a sudden.
Yeah, this one did cost FoFo his flash, I'm pretty sure, probably right here. Yep, he has to flash away from this one to not get bursted on by the Camille. ZDZ is running the Ignite as well, so he's extremely dangerous when it comes to the 1v1, especially versus a very squishy mage like the Wei. And I feel like Weibo Gaming in the bot lane, they overreached, diving that Xin Zhao. Heng won enough time for his team to allow resources to come through to not lose that tier 2 in the bot side of the map. Whilst if they had focused that tier 2 with their Rift Herald there, with only Xin Zhao underneath the tower, they could have potentially netted themselves another tower. Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, they won't get themselves another tower. They will lose their support right now. And this is what happened in game number 1 as well. The game was very even. It was all tit for tat. But then as soon as our 20-minute mark hit, WBG just had something in them, a confidence, a drive to get more out of these plays. And it's becoming harder and harder to see how Weibo can come back into this one, even though they're not even behind technically right now. It's just a kill. It'll just be a dragon. But it does feel like it's Weibo falling behind the mark when it comes down to these kind of setups, these fights.
Yeah, because it's very difficult to walk into a Blitzcrank, right? We talked about this over in the draft. Everyone is super squishy. Lwandy is looking again. ZDZ does some displacement.
Oh, he gets the knock up though. ZDZ now will have the lantern to keep him going, but Heng wants a little bit more. Look at the damage you can do from so far away with this Jhin. Wayward picks up Crisp. Crisp just respawned, guys. That's not okay. He is just doing all he can to try and stay alive. A flash away by Lwandy, make sure he does not get charmed after Xiaohu found a little opportunity. For the moment, this is WE starting to pick up the pace, pick up the heat. They're just burning all of the resources out of Weibo.
I'm loving the creativity from the side of WE, not only draft-wise, pulling out the Jhin, making sure he saved down bot lane. You know that everyone is squishy on the side of Weibo Gaming, so the Jhin is going to be super useful later on with the large amount of damage that he can do towards squishy champions. And then on the squishy side, add the Blitzcrank in, whoever gets hooked actually dies. Lovely silence here so that ZDZ cannot pre-buffer the hook to get away. And as you can see, he'll also explode that way all onto 3 members of Weibo Gaming. Not the best right there. It's kind of like taking the Senna route back to your AD carry kind of thing, but not much that could be done right there. And for Weibo Gaming, every time they have to walk into a neutral objective and Lwandy is there, and he will be there, you're running the risk of, if you don't burn your flash, if you don't sidestep, you end up dying. So Weibo Gaming have to constantly be playing with 1 man down in these neutral objectives. I feel like they haven't necessarily capitalized on how strong that Viego-Ari duo was. OMG being the prime example of how you can use that duo to take over an entire game. They didn't necessarily play around that. And right now, they're just falling a little bit too far behind.
It's behind the plays, and it's just, again, 22 minutes on the clock, dead even. It's 2 dragons to 1, though, to WE. This is almost identical to the situation they were in last time round in this series. 2 items now on most of the kind of big carries of WE. Are falling a little bit behind in terms of the item completions, though, for Weibo. They should be resetting and getting those finished up right there. There's the Black Cleaver finished up for XiaoHao. I believe the Camille, after this wave gets pushed in, it should be going back and finishing up their Ravenous Hydra. And then that should be a fairly strong position here for the side of Weibo to fight. And they do need to fight, but they're just being caught out so many times by these small skirmishes that are just isolating targets because of the Blitzcrank.
And as you can see, Weibo are trying to play away from the Blitzcrank is. WE walked into the top side, trying to set down some very deep vision into the top quadrant of XiaoHao's jungle, trying to set up for a potential Baron to come through if they get a pick onto Weibo Gaming, whilst Weibo Gaming are more interested into starting to get a few more dragons. There's 2 on WE that don't want to give them the sole point. Therefore, they did put some vision down onto the bot side of the map. Now, WE do have the chance to play towards topside and just go for the Baron. But to be honest, this is something that T1 was very known for doing. When you do have the strongest team, you sort of shift around your opponents and their vision. So by setting up their vision towards the top side of the map, they're going to have to... They're pushing Weibo towards the bot side, and now that they are bot side, they get to clear that one out and force Weibo into face checking. This is something that T1 was very known for. I think they were possibly the ones that figured this one out very quickly and very early on a few years back, and teams have been implementing ever since. So now WE have some vision towards that bot side of the map, and they are looking Weibo with 3 members towards the side. Crisp They do know they're in there. They do know they're in there. And they do have TP onto FoFo as well. Wayward is playing bait right here, but they have spotted each other.
Yeah, Hook not going to land under anything. 1 minute till Dragon spawns. I believe we are seeing it's kind of another completed item here for Prince. He might be so close at Infinity Edge. If he can get that before this next fight, don't think he has the time to reset or collect the gold for it. It could be a massive swing of the momentum of this game, just because it's that item spike is just so powerful for someone like Jim. The fourth shot does something like 1200 damage squishies if you do not have any armor. So someone like Light not be feeling super great if that were to go, but 24 seconds till we go. TP coming in here from FoFo. He did go back and picked himself up. A little bit of magic penetration before this fight can really begin. It is going to be WE going into the likes of Weibo before they can really find a massive fight or a massive deal. And Wayward's already losing a little bit on the side lane, but he is an Aatrox, so he'll heal it all the way back up. No problem, no questions.
And remember, Lwandy, if he gets a hook right here, somebody dies. So he's looking, he's spraying. He's also very, very squishy. So if Camille does end up getting into your backline, you could end up dying right here. But WE, they're just pushing out people just by the raw power of having a Blitzcrank, causing flashes right, left, and center. And WE, just like this, by Lwandy pressing W forward, they're in the river.
But that TP as well from Xiaohu's not going to be enough. It's not going to be close enough. And they're going to lose two off it. XiaoHao and ZDZ dead to rights. Wayward will stay alive. There's even a fruit just to keep him going. You've no jungler, you've no real engage. This is, you just have to give this one up. And again, this feels like the momentum of the fights are just going the favor of WE. They just feel more coherent. And now you can go back for the Baron TP topside because you're the ones who are in such a health, kind of benefit. Heng is going to get caught out a little bit. He will flash away from the hook right at the last second. Those Merc Treads doing the exact job they needed to do. There is a Honey Fruit on the river to heal him back up should he need it, but there's no vision here for Weibo. Absolutely none. They have to face check this. They aren't even going to. Wait, WE get themselves nice and aggressive because they want to try and go for this fight. They will lose their support, but they don't really care. Heng will try and tank up as much as he can, but gets sniped back on the back side of this one here. I don't know if that's worth now for WE because they can't go for the Baron.
Absolutely not. I think it started with Xiaohu right there, taking a huge chunk off of Heng. And taking his fast, but what in the world happened here? They think they caught Wayward, but Wayward has his entire team with him. These are the sort of questionable plays that we keep pointing out for Weibo Gaming. Again, the Viego Ari combo, where is it? Why are you not playing around it? You've got ZDZ overextending onto Wayward. You caught him, but you go too deep, and WE has their entire team there. I feel like Weibo Gaming has been too split for both of these games. They haven't necessarily figured out how they want to play these team fights, and every time WE have figured out their way of breaking the fight is through Lwandy getting these hooks, breaking Weibo Gaming apart, and he's got another one.
Oh my God,
Fresh
another
dent.
hook, but Wayward is the one that gets sacrificed for it. So in that trade of Crisp for Wayward, you will take that as Weibo Gaming. Again, this game is such a close one right now. Both teams just kind of fighting for control over each of these objectives. But the Infinity Edge that I talked about earlier for Prince has been finished up. His power spike is just disgusting. Yes, the Lethality Virus will still do well, but it's not going to be at the same level of kind of just pure tank-killing power. Xiaohu will build up a Medjai's already on 10 stacks because he knows that he needs to be the carry that can burn down some of these opposition numbers.
I feel like a lot of the power from Weibo Gaming is lying onto Xiaohu right now, getting these charms, trying to find his way into the backline. I feel like FoFo has been very unthreatened from the side of Weibo Gaming, even though they do have tools. ZDZ jumping into the backline onto the Camille, XiaoHao following together with Xiaohu. They do have the tools to bypass that front line from WE to get onto FoFo, to get onto Prince, to punish the only two damage dealers right now on WE, and it hasn't necessarily quite been the case yet. Mikhail's completed for Lwandy. Very, very, very important right here. A charm lands, a hook lands, it can be cleansed instantly from your support. So a very good pickup right there from the Blitzcrank and WE. Back again, trying to establish some vision towards that Baron that Weibo Gaming have been threatening for quite a few minutes. Back to back now.
Decent vision here for Weibo, but not perfect.
Oh,
That's why
Xiaohu's looking.
Xiaohu is sitting there. He has been spotted out, though, so we'll have to sweep that ward and back himself away. It's very shallow vision, though, for being honest here for the side of Weibo. They're not really in a position to go for it. Now the hook shot will not land. We'll have to use the last of the Hextech ultimatum just to try and back it out, but that is just an easy little sneak away there. And you can see immediately, because of the distance you can go with that ultimate from Prince, he's right back into the mid lane. There's no threat on the Baron, and Wayward gets free push on bot side.
Absolutely, and somebody's going to have to reply to this bot lane push. WE can just sit mid lane and push wave after wave after wave after wave. The second they see that somebody has replied towards the bot side of the map, they can instantly start threatening the Baron and rinse and repeat. They might be sending their Varus. No, the Varus is not going to be going towards the bot side of the map. 20 seconds for the Camille to spawn, and Wayward is going to choose to take some jungle away here and back off. There is a dragon in 50 seconds. It's going to be so for WE, very important again. Ooh, we get the Wayward POV right here.
Yeah, I think ZDZ just kind of disrespects him, yeah.
Very, very good right there. But the Q2 landing was so important to stop Camille from pretty much running away. Again, Prince on the utility, quote-unquote, AD carry, if you will. Assisting his top lane for pretty much halfway across the jungle. And now this is it. 15 seconds. This is going to be sole point for WE. Even more damage. Infernal Soul for the likes of Hui and Jin. And Lwandy is looking, but he doesn't know that they know that he's on a ward.
He's on a ward. And now that he's sitting there in the back of the pit, we'll say it was a bit unfortunate there for Prince. He didn't quite kill that pink ward there. That's doing some decent work to stop WE from having full vision. Xiaohu will land a little bit of poke now, but get smashed right back, to be honest with you. He has to use his ultimate defensively. That's massive. Not having the Spirit Rush available here for Weibo just limits you so much. There's a Chain of Corruption, not really doing a huge amount. It was max range, but now you're without ultimates. Now you're without opportunities. ZDZ is looking for a little bit of a flank, but this is going to be Soul. This could be an Infernal Soul if you're not careful. They will not land the Spiraling Despair. They will not land the hook, but they will land the dragon. WE now with an Infernal Soul. Maybe look for the fight after the fact. They pop down the ultimate here. There's so much damage being thrown in here from all of the angles. They just can't seem to kill off anybody. And it's Aatrox who falls down first. Look at these low health bars. Prince is huge. He will get one kill, maybe another one as he looks to try and push even further on. He does not have a flash available to him. They get in with the hook shot, but the cleanse is good. Trying to see if they can burn him down, but the Jin went too far to the sun. Infernal Soul was confirmed here by WE. But do they get themselves out? Because they have a Baron to worry about. They will not have Crystal on the side of Weibo. They can't go for it. Hui's too big.
Weibo Gaming found their way around this dragon fight. Xiaohu is absolutely massive on this area, but I think Weibo Gaming live and die by the sword or charm of Xiaohu right now. If he goes down, they lose the fight. If he stays up, they tend to win these fights. And again, they're leveraging the fact that this area is so fed. However, WE did manage to get that dragon. They do have that soul point. Crypt Bloom also completed for FoFo right here on his way. And again, if we do get a chance to watch this replay, Wayward's positioning throughout this entire team fight was absolutely stellar, but we don't have time for this because Weibo Gaming are starting the Baron. They're pulling TPs.
They're going to try and find Wayward after the fact. He flashes away. It's a bit separated from Weibo, though. They separated themselves. Nice flash in away from by XiaoHao to keep himself alive. Wayward doing this just the exact same, but now, without those key ultimates, without those key cooldowns, can they look for a fight? Weibo looking to see if they can go for something, but Lwandy with these hawks, so dangerous. CDZ trying to get priority into that mid lane, but for the moment now, this game's still so even, but that Infernal Soul will start to do work once these, this Wei poke starts to land.
And both teams are so extremely squishy at this point that you see Xiaohu lands a taunt, a charm onto Xin Zhao. He takes about 30 to 40% of that HP. Now Rukern, of course, be completed for Heng. Will mitigate, hopefully for him, a little bit of that damage coming through from the Ahri. 14 stacks onto the Meta is looking for that Banshee. They found ZDZ, but the buffer on the hook shot right there is going to be enough
Oh,
to make his
ZDZ
way
walks
out.
right into a trap, and he can't run away. The Infernal Chain stopped the hook shot. And now, without ZDZ, you have a minute of a 4v5. They're running straight to the Baron. They want to get this objective. This could be the straw that breaks the camel's back, specifically Weibo's back.
Absolutely. Xiaohu is also backing right now. He's resetting. He's going to complete his banshees. He wants to have as much damage and as many items as he can. They're going to have to look to play this 4 versus 5. One charm is all it takes. One hook from Crisp is all it takes to actually trade one and make it a 4 versus 4. FoFo is looking. He's poking.
He's poking. They have no vision on this Baron. They don't know it's 6,000 HP. XiaoHao hasn't got a flash to get in on top of this one here. They've used the locket. 3,000, 2,000, 1,000. It's gone. XiaoHao and Xiaohu trying to see, or Xiaohu trying to see if they can take out the Wayward Aatrox. Lwandy chunks about 3/4 of his HP off there, but they've already taken the Baron. They've already secured the kill on the jungler. And Weibo, unfortunately for them, they just don't have the presence. They don't have the vision. And without information, they can't take the fight.
WE pulling back that trap in the tri-bush on the bot side of the map on ZDZ. Pretty much solidified that Baron. And if he wants this one more time, Wayward jumps out of the pit, tries to stop XiaoHao from getting in onto this Viego, zoning him away. Again, a great display of how to zone away potential threats from Wayward. The fight down the dragon, now the fight around the Baron. This guy is on top of his game.
With the Baron now, the short-range composition of WE should be able to start putting some work onto these towers, at least the remaining standing outer ones. They've done a fair bit for the moment, but they don't want to get caught out either. A chain of corruption here, a hook there. They could find themselves right back to square one. They're just letting the cannon do its work for the moment. Maybe looking for a little cheeky pick. It's what they've basically been winning off of so far, these hooks from the Blitzcrank. Just to set up the fight, set up any kind of engage. They would love to get these stacks off of Xiaohu if they can get rid of those Medjites, if they can kill off the Ahri, as slippery as she is. They're in such a good spot. They will take down this tier 2 in the mid lane. That will be the first of the tier 2s they take. Do they look for a little bit more? They need to be very quick on the side of Weibo. They're 3v5 for the moment, but I don't think WE want to risk it.
Chain of Corruption missed right there from Varus, which means that WE can get to walk up just a little bit, but in 50 seconds there's going to be Elder on the map, and WE still have the Baron to take control of the map, pressuring these waves, set down their vision, potential TP flanks for Aatrox, for Wayward to get behind them. The Banshees is going to prove to be very problematic for WE to break through for Xiaohu.
ZDZ TP'd, but he's so hard for him to get in. He knows he's been spotted out. They know he can't really get on top of this one here. Spiraling Despair still yet to be used. Heng has to flash away. If he dies now, that could be Elder. He tries to cleanse, but the Mikhail's Blessing is not enough. Chain of Corruption has already come back out. That will spread out onto FoFo. Nobody there to capitalize on it. The base has been cracked open here by WE, but they lost their jungler. 10 seconds till the Elder spawns. You would imagine Weibo have to sprint to this objective.
It's all on Xiaohu, all on Xiaohu. He gets the taunts, he gets the charms, he gets the damage done. Lwandy is looking, if they get one pick, they can make it into a 4 versus 4. 28 seconds for their jungler. WE really need to stall. Luckily for them, they do have a bunch of vision set down, and Weibo Gaming have to play it a little bit slower, since they don't want to be running into this blitzer. Look at Lwandy, he's waiting in the brush.
They're baiting them in. They're baiting them in.
ZDZ is very close.
And they're baiting them in. They don't know exactly where they are. Xiaohu doesn't know what's in that brush. Now he does. And he sees the rest of WE. 4 seconds till Heng comes in. He would be here if they can delay it a couple more seconds. The hook is now down for Lwandy. He moves straight in onto ZDZ, who gets chunked out, who gets killed off. They need to finish him off. Nobody actually auto-attacked him. Why couldn't they? They finally flash in over the wall. It's a 4v4. Xiaohu trying to see if he can jump in with a Spirit Rush, but he only has one left. Now it's a 5v4 in favor of WE. Light gets hit once. Light gets hit not twice. But now Xiaohu looking for a little bit more. Needs that charm. Will not get it. And he's dead. Nothing more to be done. WE will take the series. It'll be a 2-0. They don't need the Elder because they've got themselves an inside track to the mid lane.
Heng makes his way into that Dragon Pit as well, grabbing that last kill. WE with a fantastic play. Prince popping off on that Jhin in the last fight. making sure they take themselves apart in the rankings from Weibo Gaming.
They join themselves up towards the top of the standings. I think they even get themselves with a 2-0. They should be getting themselves right up into it, and they can't even kill Wayward. It's a 2-0 for WE, and a great start to this one here. Really well done there from the side of WE, and just honestly fantastic play from start to finish.
Very entertaining series to watch. Of course, commiserations to Weibo Gaming for this loss. I think it hits really hard. You take this loss, you pretty much tie yourself with WE, but now WE have made sure to pull apart from the Weibo Gamings and anyone else around them. They have literally beat almost every single team around them. AL, FPX, RNG, IG. They have beaten them all.